Cash.
Los Angeles.
Rock and roll. My money.
When will they stop?
Well now. Long Beach, clear skies.
And now, on with the show.
It is another weekend, and here we are. Danny Lemos right here.
Mike Stark.
Melanie Ray.
All kinds of things going on if you're here.
Busy.
Grand Prix weekend. You can hear it probably from Norwalk.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
The buzzy. And this year, an extraordinary amount of tire smell that we didn't used to smell, but it wafted into our neighborhood last 2 days.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it's rubber. Burning. There's nothing like burning rubber in the morning, right? Today on the show, we got an interview coming up. Somebody we look forward to talking to.
Yes, Patrick Reynolds, the director of Hendrie, which is the director of the film we're going to screen in May. May 3rd is our screening at the Art Theater of Hendrie, and we're going to talk to the director of that film.
You know, Phil Hendrie is the, maybe not the original troll, but certainly precedes all these internet trolls.
It sure does.
True.
And if you want to see a little snippet, there is one on our website. I mean, the trailer is playing there if you want to find out what's this movie about. I recommend it. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah,
it's
it'll be
comedy, laughing, a lot of fun, and it's about radio. That's why we're involved in it.
Right, and we're going to have Richard Wagner is going to be part of the moderation of the Q&A, who's the columnist here in Southern California for all things radio.
Yeah, it's great. It's a radio event, which is perfect for us.
Yes.
So May 3rd, if you want to find out more, klbp.org. It's all right there. Click on the banner and you'll get right to the ticket sales. And get on there. And today we're also going to be talking to the founder of Tiny Fest, which is tiny house like a convention.
Super cool.
Yeah, it's way cool if you're into that.
Yeah.
She's going to be coming up on the show, and lots more coming on your way this morning on Mornings on the Beach. But first... But wait. We got one other thing that's coming up on the show, and it's a new segment that's called Bob on the Beat. That's coming up after, actually, open the door. Let's get our guest in here this morning.
It's so great to have him on the show. He's going to be part of our screening on May 3rd of Hendrie. He's the man that made it happen, the director of the film Hendrie, which we all love. And he brought Phil Hendrie to life, basically, and put him on the big screen.
It's Patrick Reynolds. Welcome, Patrick.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate that.
So for our folks that are, this is interesting. I remember the name Phil Hendrie. Let's give him a little background, detailing also what the documentary is about.
So once upon a time, there was a radio man in Los Angeles, and it was the craziest show that you had ever heard. You would listen to this, and these guests that he had on were absolutely mind-bogglingly insane. And you were wondering how this was happening, and then you find out, sometimes through a friend or sometimes through just immersion, that this show was actually the creation of one man who, in many people's estimation, is a comic genius. And he would have these crazy, dramatic scenarios happening with himself. The guest was him. He was him, and then the audience was either in the dark or in on the joke. So it was a crazy thing where it's the only radio show I've ever heard of where you were listening to the show, but you were also in on an inside joke, which has never been done before or since. And the first time I heard it, found out that I had heard it, which is a weird sentence in itself. I was just completely, blown away and impressed, and sort of forever changed, because I'm something of a comedy geek.
He's a fantastic comedian just to start with, but when you were in on the joke, it got like doubly funny because you realized he was playing both characters, and that was amazing to me when I finally figured that, or when I found out about it.
Exactly. And then the other thing, once you find yourself in that place, is you start to realize, or you start to ask yourself and realize, how could this person be so prolific and how could he be so consistently funny minute by minute? And I still maintain that is one of the most amazing comic feats that has ever happened.
Yeah, that's fantastic. How did you settle on him as a subject? Obviously, there's rich material.
Well, in another life, I was a jazz musician, and I was studying up at Cal Arts, and I would go down to LA from Santa Clarita to do gigs, and I would listen to, KFI and just, crack up the whole time. And before I ever thought about ever making a film or anything, or knew how to make a film, I thought to myself, man, that would be an amazing documentary about this guy. Because he's, the other thing that's interesting about Phil is that he's sort of well known in certain circles. He's famous in certain circles. And then in other circles, he's completely unknown. So I just thought that would be a perfect documentary subject. And then fast forward many, many years later, I was in an office suite with a guy who is a comedian, a guy named Jordan Brady. And Jordan knows a lot of people. He knew Judd Apatow and a bunch of other people, Wayne Fetterman and stuff. And I pitched it to him a couple of times. He didn't really pay much attention to me. And then this one time I pitched it to him. I guess I pitched it to him a little better than I had in the past. And he was interested. And then he could put me in contact with these people that were, famous, I guess.
Yeah, that's great. What I love about it is if you don't know Phil, and for me, I got a chance to see it in action when I first saw the documentary, which was amazing to me to see him actually doing it. But if you're just discovering him, that's a double layer for you to discover this man. He's so funny and he's so talented. And, I'm a radio guy. Mike's a radio guy, but I'm thinking I could never do what he does. It's so incredible.
Yeah, the thing that I always liked about him, he was so good at it, his craft, that you swore that the two characters were talking over each other.
Yeah.
And in fact, they weren't. Okay, so the screening that we're doing is in benefit of KLBP, and we appreciate Patrick
thank you.
and Phil being involved in this because it really helps our station. We do a few fundraisers a year. This one will be a great one.
It's so radio.
Yeah, because it's radio, and we love radio. It's May 3rd, 2 p.m., the Art Theater. We're going to have the screening, and then we're going to do a Q&A with Patrick and Phil. Phil's going to join us. So if you had any burning questions to Phil, now is the time to save those up and bring them down to the screen.
Or if you want to get him to sign your copy of the Blu-ray, yeah. And tickets, of course, klbp.org. You can find them there. Just click on the image of Phil.
Thanks again, Patrick. We appreciate it. We'll see you on the 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't wait.
Before we go, this is the first time this film has been screened in front of an audience, right?
Oh, yeah, that is very true.
Oh, wow.
I submitted it to, well, the good news, let me put it this way. The good news when I made the film was immediately there were distributors that wanted it, so that was great. I thought great, so it's on Prime and it's on Tubi and it's on all that stuff. So that worked out well. But when I did the festival thing, nobody wanted it. And at first, at first I thought, well, maybe it just sucks. So what are you going to do? And then I kind of did a little more deep thinking, and I realized that there's a bunch of stuff in it that is probably not what festivals really want. You know what I mean? So, for instance, one of Phil's characters is a child molester. And I don't think that helped my cause.
And I'm glad you're in the movie. You're aware that you're part of the joke. Yeah, no, that's funny. I love it. Yeah,
exactly.
I can't wait to see what an audience does when they see it live.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh man, I have to tell you, man, I'm so excited to be there with all kinds of Phil fans and hear them laugh.
Yeah, that's going to be great. All right,
it'll be great. Again, thank you so much, and we'll see you on the 3rd.
All right, thank you guys.
We're going to go into some music now. Here's the Black Crowes. All right, Black Crowes and Profane Prophecy.
It was so great for Patrick to join us and talk about that.
Absolutely. He's a good guy.
And we got people waiting in line to be on the show. Good morning.
Hello.
Hi, Renee. Oh my goodness! You guys have to see this. She's in her trailer. Oh, that's her tiny house.
Doing dishes, right here.
I'm coming.
Great. These are my co-hosts that will be sitting on the other side of the counter.
Hi.
Mike is right there, and Melanie over there. This is great. This is Renee Seevers, and I love
That's my living room / bedroom.
That's fantastic.
Kitchen. I was just making coffee.
Amazing.
We got it all going.
She's giving us a
All from
tour
right here.
of her own tiny house, and sort of as an introduction there, you obviously you eat your own cooking. You practice what you preach.
Sure do.
Yes. If you are listening today, we want to ask you a question. Does size matter? And no, stop it. I know what you just thought. But size indeed does matter, but we're talking about the other way around, where you can get smaller. And if you're like me, I've been a tiny house aficionado for the last, I think it's about 10 years now. So I started watching stuff on YouTube, Tiny House Nation on TV. I mean, I'm just really into it. And so we've invited today, Renee Seevers is the founder of Tiny Fest.
Hello.
Good morning,
Hello.
Renee. How are you?
I love the Tiny Fest Express. That's what I call my little bus.
It's great. And who Renee is you started as a tiny home, how do you want to call it, inhabitant, a while back, and then sort of got struck up with the whole movement. Why don't you take us through your journey into tiny houses?
Sure. Yeah. I've actually been living in under 100 square feet for 10 years now.
Wow.
And I saw them on YouTube.
Wait a minute.
Well,
you said 100
You're like, whoa,
square
back
feet?
up with that question.
100 square. We're in 100 square feet now.
Are we? Is this room 100
Just
square
about
feet?
our studio. But go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just was amazed.
No, that's okay. Yeah, it takes a moment to sink in. It does. But I saw them on YouTube, that kind of thing. One thing led to another. I was like, this could work for me. I think this could work. My kids were going off to college. And so I went to an event where I could see them in person. And that changed my ideas of what I thought right then and there.
Wow.
Because I saw these big, 13-foot tall. I was thinking I was going to drive it all over the country, right?
Right.
And these are homes. You can drive them down the road. They're not designed to be driven 24/7, not 24/7, but
They're not mobile homes.
They're not mobile homes.
Yeah, they're not. So then I went to another event, and I just really, what I realized is people need these events to be able to see them, step inside, decide if it might work for them, talk to other people, get ideas, get solutions. And so it was I went to my first event in November, maybe. I had my tiny house purchased in January. I was living in it in February, and I hosted my first event the next year. I just, after going to a few of them, I was like, we need more of this, in the world,
awesome.
so to speak.
Yeah.
So now we have held, this will be our 17th event, and it's 9 years now that we've been working on.
Oh, congratulations.
Sharing this with the world.
What she's talking about is Tiny Fest, which is in the Orange County Fairgrounds this weekend. And it is where you can find all things tiny house. And that's what got me excited about reaching out to you, Renee, was about, I'm so crazy about all the inventions and all the pop-up tables and the secret compartments and that go into a tiny house. And I'm thinking this might be my future.
It's an adventure, like you said, to discover all those little, hidden treasures, but also to see the variety. There'll be almost 40 homes in the tiny house neighborhood we're creating. We also have a van village, because you talk about using every nook and cranny.
Oh, that's right.
Those van life people, they've got it. They've got that down.
Yeah.
So, but you get to step inside, and they're all different styles, different ideas, and different sizes, and it's kind of like being Goldilocks, where you're like, ooh, this one's too small, ooh, this one's too big, and this one's just right.
So tell us what we can see there. Obviously, are we going to see vendors? Are we going to see people bring their homes there? What will we see?
Yeah. All of the above. So we have a simple living marketplace where you'll see vendors that will include builders that maybe weren't able to bring a home or don't have a show model, folks that are doing loans, insurance, and then all the fun stuff, little snacks and gifts and stuff. But then you walk outside and there's an entire tiny house neighborhood
Oh, that's great.
of homes that you could go inside, look at all of them, talk to the builders. The van village has about 35 custom van conversions. And we have a nomad village where you can come see my bus because you got to see it, but everybody else couldn't see.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and there's about 20 people that are coming that are living in their homes. Now, those are mostly, vans, box trucks, school buses of different sizes because, they're easy to move down the road. Like I said, most of these homes are not the tiny homes that people might think of are really not designed to be driven around all the time.
Well, people started out in the movement, as I understand it, to build homes on wheels so they could avoid some of the building restrictions in your neighborhood, or et cetera. At first, and so if you could move it, it wasn't a house. And then with the rise of the ADU movement, a lot of people are thinking about putting these permanent small dwellings on their property. And that's what I'm looking for. My brother has a house and he doesn't know it yet, but if I find a tiny house, I'm going to back it up and unload it, and I'm going to live there for the rest of my life. That's my plan. I love it. Van living appeals to me. I got a dog and I love that. But downsizing appeals to me as well. I don't know whether it's because I'm getting older and I don't want somebody to go through my stuff when I pass away. But
there's certainly that awareness.
I'm almost ready for 100 square feet.
Where you're like, this isn't going to be worth anything
great.
ever, after I go.
So
if the tiny houses are not intended to be moved necessarily, where are they parking them? Where are people living in their houses?
Well, a lot of different places. A lot of them are used as ADUs, and we do call it now as the ADU. Movement, like you said, is really blossoming, and the LA metropolitan area has more tiny house or more ADUs than any place in the country. We call it now tiny home ADU and nomad living.
Got it.
Because there's getting to be more crossover. So we have a variety of homes that meet different building standards. So say your brother's lot,
yes,
you might want to do some research because he doesn't know you're coming. Say in his lot, an ADU is allowed if it is a modular build or if it meets, stick built like IRC code. It depends on the area. So you got to find that out. And then, like when you're looking around Tiny Fest, you're like, okay, this person is an RV certified home, RVIA certified home. My area doesn't allow that. So it's really cute. I got some great ideas, but I'm going over here to meet this guy because he's got a modular. So it's kind of like there's homes for every situation. Mm-hmm. RV homes or park model, you hear that term a lot. Those are generally going into, say an area where they have park models, right? A little park, a little village, and an RV park. Actually, a lot of folks do that.
That's true.
And then the modular homes, manufactured homes are often being in backyards. I actually live in my bus, but I have property in Oregon, and I bought a tiny house and it sits on the property. And it's a short-term rental, and that's another thing. A lot of people are using a short-term rental.
Oh yeah.
I thought it would be great for my mom should she need it, and then she came out to visit and said, Renee, I can't do those stairs in the middle of the night. And a lot of people talk about that. They're great avenues for keeping family close, and so many builders now are making them without lofts.
That's
because they just don't work for a lot of people at a lot of different ages,
So you're already here then for the fest this weekend?
Yeah, I'm actually I'm on the north side of LA right now. I've got to drive. I'm waiting till midday to do the drive.
And you'll roll on up.
Listen,
so is there sometime in your future where you're just going to put the bus away and just relax, let somebody else do it, or is this a career now for you?
Well, I have an absolutely fabulous team. Wait till you meet these people. I hope you come out. They're just great. And I imagine that my, kind of my right hand gal, as you might say, my best friend, my business partner, she'll probably take over at some point. I'm still really enjoying it.
That's great.
Honestly, I'm looking for a little bit bigger space because I'm now married. I've been married for 3 years, and we ended up with these 2 dogs. And I tell you what, That's what he's wonderful. Him and I are in this space just fine, 100 square feet. It's no problem. But add the 2 dogs and you start like, oh, I'm starting to want a little bit more room.
Yeah, I understand. Well, we might talk. How much you selling?
There you go.
Because I'm thinking if I wasn't doing radio, I'd probably do what you're doing. I love that, the whole environment and the folks that come out for it, et cetera, et cetera. And you're your own boss, right? You get to organize this the way you see fit and bring it around the country.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. It's ultimate in freedom. And, living in a smaller home, a smaller lifestyle allowed me to do that freedom.
That's fantastic. Listen, before we run out of time, let's give a website where people can find out about this weekend.
Yeah. It is tinyfest.events, plural. And it's at the OC Fair and Event Center this weekend.
Can't wait. We're going to run down there. You'll see us down there. Yeah, that'd be awesome. That's great.
Good.
Renee Seevers, who's the founder of Tiny Fest, is here in town this week, and we're so glad to have you on the show with us. And enjoy your weekend here in LA.
Thank you so much. I'm already loving the sunshine.
All right.
That's great. I plan to be there. Are you going to go? You want to
I'll
go?
try. It's interesting. I have a tiny house on my property already that I rent out. Well,
Perfect.
Maybe not
right?
as tiny.
Financial freedom in a variety of ways. For different people, they provide financial freedom.
Well, and besides, Mike, if Paulette ever gets fed up with you, you got plenty of room in the backyard.
Got a big backyard. I could put something up there.
All right, Renee, thank you so much.
Take care.
Now,
Thank you.
Coming up next on the show is a new segment. We're going to call it Bob on the Beat. Stay here for that. And in the meantime, we got some music.
Yeah, you're going to appreciate this song, you and Melanie both, as dog owners. This is a song that Niels Lofgren wrote to the world of dogs.
No kidding.
Yes, and it's called
World Through Your Eyes. But I thought he was talking about a girl when I heard the
No,
song.
he's talking about
that's
dogs.
Awesome. That's
and if you watch the video on YouTube, you'll see that he highlights dogs throughout the video.
KLBP on your dial. Keep it here and stay a while. The sound of Long Beach, oh so sweet. KLBP can't be beat.
Coming up next on the show, we got a new thing. So here's how it happened. We had a guy walk up to our booth about a couple of months back, wanted to volunteer. And I said, what do you do? He said, I'm a photographer. So we put him on the job and he did some stuff. You'll see it on the KLBP homepage at the bottom there, his photos. But he also said, hey, I'd like to be a man on the street if I can. And so because this is Grand Prix weekend and Mike and I are locked in the studio, where'd Melanie go, by the way? I haven't seen her in a little bit.
Where is Melanie?
Bob said, I'll take a mic and I'll go out and talk to people at the Grand Prix. So let's see, turn him on and let's see what happens.
Thank you, Denny. I'm at the exhibition hall at the Long Beach Grand Prix, talking to some local folks that have information about transportation and events that will be available to Long Beach folks throughout the year.
Yeah, so for Long Beach Grand Prix this weekend, we're running our water taxi service. So you can catch our Aqualink from Alamitos Bay down to the aquarium dock, and there's an entrance into the Grand Prix. So we're running a special water taxi service just this weekend.
Are there extra buses on, like 121 and?
So our operators are prepared for the demand in service. There's several detours due to street closures, so we're just hoping customers are patient and working with us as we get them down here.
That's like the 61 and 71?
Yep, 61, 71, 121, the 20s. Multiple routes get you down to the Grand Prix. You just get off on our Transit and Visitor Information Center and make the short walk down Pine Avenue. I'm Tony Chacon, Community Relations Coordinator at Long Beach Transit.
Talking to the right guy then.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Thank you. So I understand that you're going to have harbor tours again this year, and that the lottery has started up last week.
Yes. So I'm Alice with the Port of Long Beach, and you can find all of our harbor tour information on our website at portoflongbeach.com. POLB.com. And yes, our first lottery for the tours that will occur in May just opened up last week. So it opens on the Monday and it closes that same day at the end of the night. All the information's on the website, like I said. And it'll just, you submit your name and contact information, and then you will get an email from us in like the following week or two to see if we can confirm whether you wanted 1 to up to 4 tickets free for a free harbor tour, 90-minute tour.
Excellent. And there are other tours going to be open?
Yeah. So the whole entire season is actually May through September, but we do the lottery for the May tours. It's this month in April. So for the June tours, it'll be in May, and so all the way through September. And it's
Excellent.
Yeah, four tours a month. Some are Wednesday evening, some are Saturday morning. So just test your luck, and hopefully you'll get chosen, and you'll hear from us.
So are you going to do the photography tours again this year?
Unfortunately, we're not. We are changing it a little bit because we've been directed to focus a little bit on like K through 8th education in our schools to kind of, how a lot of young children, like they know about like an airport, they know about the railroads, but they don't really know about seaports and maritime. So we are focusing this year on a lot of like younger education and K through 8th with collaborating with our local school district, Long Beach Unified School District. So we wrote a book. One of our team members at the port, our writer, he wrote a children's book, which they're actually at the Festival of Books this weekend too at USC. And so we're really promoting that this year. And so we're just trying to see, like, there'll still be involved like arts and photography, and we'll work closely with our arts council as well. It's just the demographics are going to be a little bit different. Yeah.
So if you want photos, go on the regular tour.
Yes, yeah, definitely. If you want to always bring your camera on our tours. We do, it's 90 minutes, and we get up really close to all our terminals and just other historical structures of the port. So you're always welcome people to come and join us on the tour. Yeah.
Well, thank you for the information. You were great. Thank you. Bob Wilkins talking to Officer Haas about the LAPD's recruitment efforts in town.
How are you, my friend? Yeah, we're the Long Beach Police Department, and we're down here at the Grand Prix. We'll be here all weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And our booth is mainly dedicated to providing information about people who want to be police officers in the city of Long Beach. So if you come here and talk to us, we can talk to you about what our hiring process looks like, what our 6-month academy looks like, what field training looks like, and then we have a ton of different incentives that we're offering for new hires. So if you're a police recruit, a brand new police officer, we have $15,000 hiring bonuses. We're offering money for housing and for childcare, all on top of your regular paycheck. So it's a really good time to put your application in and talk to us and see what we can offer you.
I want to ask you if there's an age limit, but I know there is.
There's no age limit. There's only an age minimum. So you have to be 20 and I have to apply, but no, there is no age limit. So anyone who's willing to come and serve the city of Long Beach, we'd love to talk to them.
Hi, good morning. My name is Elvia Cervantes. I'm here with the YMCA of Greater Long Beach. Specifically, our branch, Early Childhood Education, focuses on ages 18 months to 5 years old. So we thought it'd be appropriate for us to be here in the Kids Zone and see all the kiddos that are in our age range. We also are representing other branches of the YMCA of Greater Long Beach. So we have Los Altos, Camp Oaks. We have 8 branches altogether. So all of them are being represented here. So families are able to see what services we provide within the YMCA of Greater Long Beach. So that's what we are doing here in the Kids Zone.
Hi, I'm talking to one of the young ladies working at Race Girl booth who's from Long Beach.
Hello, my name is Aubrey.
So how did you get this gig?
I've known Rob for a couple of years now, so he'll just reach out to me to help him out.
How is sales going?
It's going good. We've only started for about 2 hours now, so we're pretty getting people coming going.
Do you normally go to races, or this is something you do for the person that you know?
This is my 3rd year, I would say, probably doing it. I've seen videos of it, never actually gone to them, but it's pretty fun.
And it's Race Girl, so it's mostly catering to women, obviously, which is a little different. Most of the merchandise is, I think, more male-oriented.
Yeah, they're a lot more for females and children. We have a lot of baby tees, baby clothes, and a lot of things are mainly majority of women. Everything's pink or blue or white.
Where are you from?
Long Beach Public Radio.
Yeah, so we're here.
What's your name?
Chris.
Yes?
From the Long Beach Utilities Gas Department. We're here giving out free tap water, which is filtered really good. We're almost running out of it, and we're here to do dig alert. Before you dig, you need to call 811, so you're not hitting no gas lines, no water lines, electrical lines, whatnot. Please call before you dig. With construction or any people working on your property, call before you dig.
What's the number they should call?
It's 811. And also we have literature here we're handing out on how to turn your meter off for safety in case of an earthquake or a gas leak or even a fire if you're able.
Yeah.
If not, call 911, fire department, and get out for your safety. So
that's all vital information. I've refilled my water bottle here a number of times, so the people who attend the races really appreciate it.
Yes, they do, and it's a pleasure for us to do this, and we're able to. It's filtered, it's clean water. I've been drinking it all day along with the attendants. So yeah, we're having a good time out here. And providing safety information and providing good water to drink.
That's really what I wanted because we're trying to let folks know that it's more than just a race. It's a place where we have the utilities, we have the fire department, police department here.
Yes, because it's a great opportunity for us to get safety info out for the people of Long Beach, the residents. And it's a great opportunity it's almost like advertisement, right? We can't really send an email, and then a lot of people get their mail in the mail, information like this. It's just another opportunity to spread the word for safety and dig alert.
Well, I've always had great experience with the city utilities. Whenever I needed anything, really short response times. So I appreciate you guys.
Yes. I've been working in the field for 20 years, doing emergency leaks and all kinds of installations on residential and commercial, and now I'm in emergency dispatch, which is great. So,
well, thank you for your time, and appreciate all you're doing.
You're very welcome. Have a good day.
See, that's really a demonstration of what can happen if you want to jump in and join KLBP. Bob literally 2 months ago walked up and said, I want to help out. And there he is right there on the radio. Welcome to Mornings on the Beat.
We get so many great volunteers just that way. Yeah. And when they do it that way, they're far more passionate than if we have to go out and drag people in.
And that's the great thing. I always say, just keep showing up. And that's all you got to do to be part of KLBP. Right. And speaking of showing up, we did an interview back in January with our music director, and it was such a great interview. And I thought, you know what, we want more people to hear about her and also about her association, what she did before she got to KLBP. And so that's coming up next, an encore interview with our music director.
In the meantime, we're going to hear some Peter Frampton, brand new music from him, and Buried Treasure. That's Peter Frampton and Buried Treasure.
You like that song, Mornings on the Beach?
Yeah.
It's where you're at right now for your weekend infotainment. I like that word. I'm Danny Lemos.
I'm Mike Stark.
Melanie Ray.
And in studio with us, we've got a very special guest. Yay! Our music director here at KLBP, Chris Kosach, is here.
Hi, everybody.
How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on down.
My pleasure.
She's a real human in the studio with us.
I am an actual person.
It's great.
I am an actual person.
And the reason I thought it would be good to have Chris today was because of what happened last week, right? MTV stopped playing music. So,
and MTV is where you worked once.
It is. MTV2 to be specific. But we crossed over to MTV, so I was on 3 days a week on MTV.
You were a VJ, right?
I was a video jock. Most young people under the age of like 35 have no idea what that is. When I would teach classes, there was always a hand that went up where there would go, there would be the ooh ah from the elderly group of us. And all the young people would raise their hand and go, what's a VJ?
Is that like a vlogger?
What's MTV?
Like a vlogger.
Yes.
That's good. So where did you do this? Was it in LA or in New York?
No, sir. 1633 Broadway, New York City.
Wow. So you were in the big time over there.
Big time. I got
What was it
that
like?
limo with my 2 suitcases and looked up at that big austere building after they had hired me. It really was definitely like a farm girl moment.
That's wild.
That's great. Yeah. That's great.
And your experiences on camera, what was that like?
For me, it was really easy because I had been a DJ already for first college and then career DJ for like 6 years, I guess, 7 years, something like that. And so I just kind of I'm very good at putting my blinders on. And I just kind of did to the microphone what I did to a microphone. I mean, what I did to the camera, what I do to a microphone, which is, don't get over yourself. No one's listening to you. You're talking to one person, right?
Yeah, that's the key. That's the key.
I looked in that camera and pretended there was only one person listening. So that's how I did it, and it was actually it came off very well. That's the big secret, right?
Now they do what we call in radio voice tracking, right? They do now. You do all the inserts, and then they insert the music later, right?
So I would get a script on Monday. We'd have a shoot on Tuesday or Wednesday. We weren't in the studio very often. They tried to differentiate MTV2 from MTV. MTV would be in the fancy studio. We would be,
of course,
literally in the back of some
the broom closet.
A sadism bar downtown.
My God.
No, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding you.
Whoa.
There was a club called Sex. I don't know who scouted this place, but it was gross. And, they had leather stuff on the wall, and it was gross.
80s.
So that,
Isn't it?
And no, the 90s. This is mid-90s.
Oh, okay.
But we'd also go to cute places like little, vintage stores. We'd go to mom and pop stores, really, mostly, and bakeries and Little Italy and stuff like that.
So they were always kind of a remote thing.
Constantly.
Oh,
that was us.
That's actually kind of cool.
It was cool. It was it was supposed to be very gritty and dirty and honest,
right?
And accessible and real. So we'd be on St. Mark's Square here, and we'd be in Hell's Kitchen there. It was great.
I remember
really
being in Rick Dees' office
Which
at
was
Kiss
fancy, I'm
FM
sure.
when they signed on. Right, and I never thought that I'd be in the studio with somebody who says my kids know was a VJ on MTV. Do they know?
Yeah, they don't care.
I want to see video.
Well, there is video on YouTube.
Is it really?
I did a deep dive and not a lot,
not a lot,
but there is some out there.
There's a little bit. I got some on VHS. I got to pull out the old player.
So does it make you feel old that they've stopped doing that now? Stopped playing music? Well, the end of an era.
Yeah,
really.
It makes me sad more than it makes me feel old. It just makes me feel really sad.
Yeah.
Because, my son is Gen Z, and our daughter is kind of on the bubble of the alpha, and the way they consume music now is
it's so different.
It is, and it's kind of icky. And thank God our son is kind of starting to see the light with. There's a retro love of grunge and stuff like that. I think some of the kids are starting to pick up on the fact that this is not something that you always make in your bedroom by yourself, but through Pro Tools and yada yada yada. But you pick up a guitar and you actually play. So they're picking that up.
And I think people, especially if they're growing up right now, they don't realize there was a time when you didn't see music; you only heard it.
Yeah.
And so it was such a cool thing when you could suddenly see a video.
Yeah.
And boy, were they crude at the beginning, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. You know who one of the first pioneers of that was? Mike Nesmith.
No kidding.
Really?
The Monkees, right?
Yeah, from the Monkees.
Oh, right.
He put 2 and 2 together and put film along with his song. That's on YouTube too. Look up Sunset Sam.
Right.
He had a show on cable access or whatever back in the day.
I loved music videos. That's totally my generation. I remember the Mickey, you're so fine.
Yeah.
Which was one of the first music videos. Exactly. Cheerleading right here.
Comes
I was there for it.
And I helped wire the very first video bar in the nation.
Did you really?
Yes, I did. It was in Silver Lake, the New York Company Bar and Grill. We put 16 TVs together with cables. And then broadcast from the DJ booth on this enormous VHS recorder, right? But that was the first time. Then, of course, Revolver followed in West Hollywood about 2 years later. We put that system in, too. I worked for the guy that did that.
Wow.
So it was something else. And it revolutionized going to the bars.
It did.
But now what's next?
And, of course, MTV, the main channel, they dropped the videos a long time ago and went with reality TV shows.
That was a bummer.
Right. Well, I have that to thank for a career, actually, because if it hadn't been them churning out people not watching music video and just watching Daria and Real World over and over and over, then they wouldn't have had to create MTV2 or M2 is what I really wrote for, but people didn't understand the brand, so they changed it. But we were a response to that. So I kind of have to be thankful for that. Yeah. So this whole new thing that's happening, I have a different perspective because what turned sour gave me a career. Right. And so maybe what's turning sour now is going to give somebody else a chance.
You're right.
Yeah. I like to think.
Look at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. What and between that time when you stopped doing that and you started up here at KLBP, did you go back into radio or were you looking for an opportunity and so we came along?
I have the best timing and I have the worst timing. I always thought that, when I start getting wrinkles, I'm going back to radio. That'll be awesome. I can smoke. I don't have to shower. It'll be awesome. But that kind of didn't happen because when I was getting ready to do that, first of all, I had kind of lost my mojo a little bit, I thought. But also... radio was, going through that whole voice tracking thing, and Sirius had just come into being, and it was all changing and getting homogenized, and satellite, and not satellite, but syndication, and all of that stuff was happening. But so it wasn't as easy to get back in as I thought it would be, and so I fell off that high horse pretty damn quick.
Now you're out in California, right? And how did you find us?
How did I find you? Oh, I know. All right, I'm going to name names. He's a lovely man. Mr. Bluth, who works at USC, is in charge of the classical station over there. And when I got here, I started kind of reaching out to the people that I knew that were still down here in the market and saying, hey, you got something for the old girl to do? And the only one that did was like the easy listening way over like in Burbank, and I couldn't do it. I can't drive an hour.
Coast. 103.
And so I just couldn't do it. But anyway, I reached out to Bluth, and he said, I don't know what's going on down there, but there's something happening in Long Beach.
Whoa!
So I poked around.
How did you know about it?
He's I don't know, smart guy, and he turned me in the right direction, and I found it, and I sent an email, and then crickets for a year, and then finally heard from you guys, and here I am.
It's wild. I was telling Mike earlier, every time I meet somebody that knows I work here, they always want to know how they can get their music on the radio station. And you're the conduit for that. You're our music director. If you want to send something, it's music at klbp.org, not Danny at klbp.
Or me.
Yeah, we get a lot of songs.
Yeah. Or me.
But we do want to know. We do want to know what's out there, and we are pretty picky, so it's got to be good to get past your ears.
Yeah.
I'm going to make my normal speech now.
Okay, go. Right,
my normal speach is
I love your speeches.
That when I started listening to this station before Chris came, it was unlistenable. There was nothing on there but music I'd never heard and bad music. And then suddenly, and my social media will bear this out if you go back into the past, suddenly the music started to change.
Yeah, right.
And it was really good music. And I was saying to myself, wow, that's some great music. And it's one right after another. And that was all because of Chris.
Yay, thank you.
And when I got here, Tracy, our program director, had the station under her grasp. You had the music going. I didn't have to mess with that. It was so great.
Thank you.
And there's such a life to it. When you hear it, like we were talking today, just listening to the station yesterday.
Coming down today, I was just blown away by what I was hearing on the radio.
Great.
And it's a contribution of a lot of people.
It is. It's diplomatic.
But the new stuff is you.
Right. And
thank you.
We play stuff that nobody else plays in this market at all.
Intentionally.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So, and you can't find it. And people are beginning to find that out.
Yep.
As we went from, I think when I started here in 2018, we had 32 people that listened a day, maybe, if we were lucky.
Right.
Yeah. It was
to over 7,000 a month now.
That's awesome.
Nice.
It's not amazing.
Let's keep going.
Who are those people?
I don't care.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, would you like to know, basically what happened with MTV? Would you like to know what happened?
Absolutely.
I'll try to do. I was practicing this in the car, actually.
Okay, excellent.
I couldn't get under 7 minutes, but I'll try 10 seconds now, okay? In a nutshell, when MTV first came on, you remember the tagline? What was the tagline?
I want my MTV.
Exactly,
Oh, that's
right?
right,
It was
Wheel
the big
froze.
one. So I'm sorry. Sorry, Mike got it. I knew Mike would get it. Sting said it. Mark Knopfler
Right,
put it in
right.
the
That's
song.
right,
It was
that's
like a
right.
thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It was also strategic because they could not get on most of the cable networks because cable was analog. It was a finite space, so you could only have so many
that's
channels,
right.
and
You're
they
right.
couldn't get on. So they were trying to create this grassroots effort to get on. It worked. They changed the zeitgeist, right? Changed everything, and then fast forward to right around when I came along, they opened up that framework, and you got like 125 channels, and so there was this land grab that was on ESPN2, right? And Headline News came on, and everybody had a second one. You had to take, if you took Fox News, you had to take Fox Business, and on and on and on.
remember that,
So
yeah.
they were all just like taking up the space. So MTV grabbed as much as they could, and that's why you saw MTV2, MTV Vibe, MTV Classic, MTV Hip Hop, again and again and again. There were a bunch of them, and that's where they put all of their music, and it sat there for a very long time. And fast forward to now, when David Ellis purchased it, he took a look at the model, which is a whole nother conversation I have with you. But he looked at the money, and the money wasn't moneying.
Oh,
You know, it
wow.
wasn't making
Yeah.
sense.
There we
They were
go.
making a little bit of money, but they were also paying for all that music distribution. Or the music licensing, rather, right? And so they were like, this is not a very good model. So that's why they killed the channels.
Oh.
MTV proper still exists with these horrible shows
Right.
on, right?
Yes.
But there's really no music, and that's strategic because it's expensive.
Right.
And but it's it's what they call a zombie network. I don't think they're going to let it go for a little while, but they're going to try to figure it out. And I'm praying to the rock and roll gods up there that he comes up with something clever,
Right.
and we learn, we get new music like in a TikTok scroll or something like
We
that.
need something like that to
We really
serve
do.
that people can find new music because
Yeah.
it's so hard nowadays.
Absolutely.
Stick around.
You'll
Stick
fix it.
around. Let's keep doing that. It's Mornings on the Beach for your Saturday, Sunday, right here on KLBP. We want our KLBP. Can we steal that? Can we steal that?
Yes,
Yeah,
security,
they're not
take
using it anymore.
Right.
I'm Danny Lemos.
I'm Mike Stark.
I'm Melanie Ray.
And over there,
I'm Chris Cosette, just hanging out.
What he does is one of the few things in comedy that I can say is magic.
A modern-day master of radio's theater of the mind.
He's juggling 4 chainsaws in his Zebra, and he has no script.
He revolutionized talk radio.
We were satirizing talk radio. We were making fun of the very medium that I was working in.
Join KLBP on May 3rd at the Art Theater in Long Beach as we celebrate radio podcaster Phil Hendrie with a screening of the documentary Hendrie. The screening begins at 2 p.m., followed by a moderated Q&A session with Phil and the film's director, Patrick Reynolds. It will be a unique afternoon of comedy and radio magic, so plan to join us. Ticket information at klbp.org, with proceeds going to support Long Beach's only public radio station, KLBP.